About the economic growth versus the economic growth of China versus the United States, and this is my audience for today. China shifted from a centrally planned to a market-based economy during the reform of 1978. During that year, since that year, they've been growing about 10% each year on their economic growth. This time they are, based on GDP, the gross domestic product, they are the #1 economic country in the world, based on GDP itself. The United States is #1 based on GDP per person productivity, which is the one that counts for me. But on GDP, the reason China is one of the GDP's growth is because they are the manufacturer of the world at this time. They have reformed the rebate tax reform that they built in 1989, and at that time they just got a tax rebate where they don't get charged tax when they just export their products. So that's why it's so cheap, just to go ahead and get their manufacturers out there. The United States is #1 based on the economy per person productivity. We are about 41,785 millions above China at this time. But China, based on GDP itself, is $17.63 trillion. United States right now is $17.41 trillion. One of the reasons that China GDP have gone so high is because they have their hours that they work, productivity, their basic hourly rate is about 17 yuan at this time, which is about $2.74. They don't have age that they can work, so little kids from the age of 8 years old plus they can just work in these manufacturers. So most of the people needs at least 2 or 3 jobs to subside. At the time, also they have the largest poverty population, with 98.99 million people living under the poverty line. That's almost half of their population of 1.35 billion. At this time, the question that many economic people ask is if China is going to be able to surpass the United States on their economy in the next 20 years. My opinion, I don't think that it's going to happen. There have to be many changes on per person productivity for that to happen, which it will bring the GDP economic value down. China's population is just too much, so they have to rebuild, they have to keep building, and if they keep living under the poverty line, it's just going to grow even more and more. So the poverty line is just going to go even less and less. So I think their government have to make many changes. They keep growing at this time. They still growing at 10% into GDP. So it is expected that by the end, and in the next 10 years, they're probably going to be over $20 trillion more than the United States this time. But that's going to be just based on GDP. GDP per person productivity is just going to still low. It is going to keep going lower if they keep moving at that pace. But there's many changes to come with China and China's economy, which, in my opinion, I think they're going to bring it down. They're going to bring their GDP a little lower. They're trying to change the lower rate for their hourly and the tax rebate. They're trying to do another reform for the tax export rebate that they have at this time. That is what they have bringing to be a manufacturer country of the world. So at this time, for the next 20 years, I don't think China is going to surpass the United States, but it can happen. It all depends of what's going to happen with the United States economy, what level we can go. We're still growing as an economy, even though that we went to a very bad economy at this time. We're still growing about 2% per year. And I thank you all for being here. And that's been my speech for the day.
Yeah, you didn't even really look at your notes.